Come on. Welcome back. It's first time out for these little shock storm ones. Have been trap draining from quite a while. Got a cockbird there that's been a bit of a pain, but we'll get them in. I'm just sort of letting them do their own thing. They are pretty fluent with how that trap works, but I got that little son of Leo in there causing a little bit of trouble, but that's all right. I'm not sure where the other hen is. She might be back in. I'll have a bit of a look. She was sitting up on the roof before, but yeah, we're getting there. We're getting these ones out. I wasn't planning on letting these ones out. I was going to have these just as stock birds because they were a special pairing, but I think for now we'll sort of just break them in, get them moving. If they want to hang around, they hang around, because I think I'll probably give them a race next year, get them in the basket, things like that. So let's see if that little one's going to go in. Come on. So it's their first time out, so they're, you know, pretty nervous and a bit flighty, but she wants to go in. This is the smaller one of the two, both hens, as far as I'm gathering. The cockbirds seem to chase them pretty well, so hopefully they actually are quite nice little hens. Storm is the mother and Shock's the father as well. This one not too bad. It's a little bit of a pied in this one, but not much. Very, very faint. So much you wouldn't even call it. Come on, in you go, so we can get on with this video. All right, he's in. Let's get going. Okay, so I was mistaken. The one that just went in was the bigger one of the two. They're both nest mates anyway. That's the smaller one that just landed on the roof then. Just having a bit of a look in here, and the one that we just got in is down here. Just trying to stop her for a second because I wanted to show you something I'm thinking about. So the mother of this one is Storm. Father is Shock. Absolutely, it's turned out to be a really nice bird. I'm not giving up on those staff hen roots yet, but I think I might have just, this round we dropped out the Hermans. See, I think the Hermans might have been not as compatible. Yeah, I'll get that. Compatible. So yeah, we're trying it this time. This is just pure Storm into the staff fan rates. And then I do have another cockbird. I thought it was a hen that turned out as a cockbird now, which is this little one here, which is also a son of Storm, but the father is a red checker Vanderbilt that we've got. So I may look at crossing these two together later on just to see how that mix goes. It'll go with some tough birds with a little bit of speed. It's sort of just come to light recently that I think they'd be a pretty good match, very similar body shapes, and yeah, I think that might be a good match. So it'll be half. The offspring should be around about 50% Storm, and then we got 25% Staff Van Riet, and then 25% Vanderbilt. So that'd be pretty interesting, something I'm trying. There's only a few pairs that I really want to breed from, and basically it'll be, this is probably another one I just want to try, just because it's got obviously a little bit of Storm in that pairing. Does that one come in yet? No, it's just sitting there, you can see it. It'll come in soon anyway, which is the main thing. And I've just left this other door open, so hopefully it sees it and wants to come in. But the rest of the birds are looking good. We're getting pretty close to the $10,000 ring race. I was planning on tossing the birds today, but unfortunately I had a lot on and I just did not get chance to take them out. So I will probably try and aim for later on this weekend. If I can get that time in there, just gonna have to try and make some time. But they're looking pretty good. That's one of our special ring birds there. And we do have the ugly hen, which is still sitting up there. So both doing well, still maintaining a reasonably good condition to do that race. What are you doing? So we'll see how we go with that one. And then we just got a couple, the last two hens sitting on this side. The other two that we've just out flying today, they can just stay on this side. They're pretty good today flying around. And they looks like they're both going to come back in, no problems. There's our little best kettle hen, she's just cruising. And that little hen there's been a little bit of a pain, but we'll see how we go. There's my little special hen. Come on, you've been a little bit of a pain. How about you go in here? All right, good girl. That was Little Storm. We've broken her in. She's doing pretty well, also flying around. The big cockbird's in here by himself. When one of those hens start to show interest in pairing up, then we'll pair him up as well, but we may look at just pairing them all together. And you will notice in here We've got some boxes open, and then we've got 2 boxes not open. So the 2 boxes not open, one is Titan. We all know Titan is an absolute pain when it comes to breeding boxes. He'll try and dominate every single box here. He's already tried to do that. He drew some blood on this guy here. So I've sort of just kept him locked up for the time being. And the hens are hanging around the nest, or this one definitely is. Like I said, that one lays eggs like no tomorrow. And the little barless hen, she's pretty close as well. The back end of it's pretty puffed up when you hold her, so she's definitely got a little egg cooking in there, which is good. So hopefully may line up with that, because Storm's pretty similar. And got big Leo out as well. He's a bit of a sticky beak. He's always having a bit of a look around and whatnot. But I much prefer these boxes to be open like this as well. So once we definitely got them paired up and they're very close to laying, we've got no chance of those birds, you know, mating with another pair and really mucking up the breeding at the moment, which is pretty easy once we get them locked in. She's only a couple of days away from laying eggs, so they're already fertilized inside her, so that's pretty good. But both looking really well. I'll get a few rounds out of these guys this year, but we'll just keep a close eye on them. This hen, I would say she's going to lay tonight, because she's been sitting on that for a couple of days, but I don't want to push her too hard by getting in there all the time with the camera. Just give her a bit of a space. She's really good, this hen, though. She lays a lot of eggs. Last year she just kept dropping eggs even after I'd split her up from the cockbirds, but she still could be today or tomorrow, I don't know, we'll see. But most of the hens are hanging around the nest bowls, not too far away. This hen here, I'd say she's pretty close as well. She is a little bit funny in her behaviour. But I've got these ones locked up just because this cockbird's a little bit of a dominating one as well. But we'll just have to wait and see. She can't be too far away from laying, the old girl. She's pretty old, so we won't push her too hard this year. We may do 1 round out of it, but I'm not holding my breath just yet. I want to get all my pairs picked up, and there's a lot of fight and commotion going over there, so I don't know what's happening. So we'll lock those ones up, and I'll probably give them a little bit of free time tomorrow. Are you going to lay us a little? Here you go. But we are getting pretty close to the time of year that I do really like, which is the breeding season. The only time that he's behaving himself is when he's sitting on eggs. But yeah, we'll see how we go. We don't have a lot of pairs to play with, so we're kind of just sticking to, you know, the core pairs, ones that have done reasonably well for us. So obviously Leo and Storm are going to stay together for this year. See how we go. We'll get a few rounds out of them. I may just let these guys do 1 round, and then once one of those little inbred daughters come available, we may put them with this guy. But we'll see. I may even look at considering putting one of the mealy hens with him, just because that's got a bit of 50% Storm Leo and then 50% Vanderbilk in there as well. So we've got a few options. These ones will be split up as well. This cockbird, I'll probably most likely put him with one of those inbred daughters of Storm as well at some point, just to get a good spread across them all. We don't have too many. I was expecting to have more than we did, but we can utilise those mealies. They both have done pretty well this year. All these birds have basically gone out to 400. There's only maybe 1 or 2 that haven't, but the rest of them have, so they're pretty good. I'm not including the yellow team, so we'll see how we go. But we'll see how these 2 go. I'm looking, it's going to be pretty interesting. I haven't really showed these birds very much, but I think these 2 here might make a pretty good pair when they mature a little bit more, because yeah, they're both really good. Well, they're 50% Storm, so they're doing reasonably well, but they handle quite well, and they've got all the characteristics that I seem to like. And well, we'll give them a, most likely we'll be in the basket next year anyway, so they'll get a good old test. But we may just do 1 or 2 rounds between them, because we do have a lot of perches to fill this year, so we'll just breed what we can. Don't get overly too crazy. But our little hens are coming along pretty well. I've still got this one here, the unrung one, which I probably think's the best out of all of them. I don't know if that's a hen yet, but it's probably the best handling bird I've ever held, so it's going to be interesting. Got another daughter there and another daughter there, so we've got a few here to work with. So basically these three here, I don't know if that's a hen just yet. I'm not going to get too crazy with that. And then we've got another little checker up the back here, which is that one. She feels quite nice as well. They're all the small kind of storm feel, which is really good. I think that's actually 83 there as well. 83, he's definitely ready to breed, but I don't want to just breed him with anyone. I'm waiting for the best kittle hen to be ready. She's showing interest, but yeah, she's not as easy. So this one here is actually 83's it's one of 83's babies. So when we paired 83 back to Storm, that's one of the ones we produced. So we will utilize them in breeding this year. I may have one or two more birds coming on later on this year, so we may be able to pair them up to these Leo Storm ones as well. Well, basically Storm, not so much Leo, but he'll get a few rounds out as well. That little hen's getting close. She wants to go in, which is good. So we definitely didn't lose either of them today, which is good. Have a little bit of a quick talk about this one. Done a few little bits and pieces to this today, just minor ups and downs. It's a bit dry today. I thought it was going to rain, but this week I'm going to go through and measure out how we're going to do all the nest boxes in here. And at that same time, I want to order all the plywood. I'll get the plywood enough to do that as well. So hopefully this weekend we might be able to do a bit of a start on the inside of here, bring in the sand, sort that out. But with the nest boxes, originally, especially talked about a little bit yesterday, I thought about putting a lot of foster pairs in here. I may just slow down a little bit on that just because we've got, well, my time's just very limited at the moment. So we may just go back and focus on maintaining what we can until a little bit later, because we can always build more boxes or another one of these lofts because they are pretty cheap. So stay tuned, and I'm going to try to put a shelf along here so that we can bring the boxes in and just stack them up and lock them all into place and take them out and clean them when we need to. And then if we do build another breeding loft, we can sort of just utilize those nest boxes. So we'll see how we go with that. That's going to be interesting. I'll make some videos of that later on the week if we get a chance to start, but I'll just keep you guys in the loop that this is our little temporary cheap stock breeding kind of thing. It's kind of just a multi-purpose sort of little loft that we got, but it's just enough to sort of maintain things because we've got a few lofts and I want to keep that as much as possible for flying this year. So stay tuned, we're getting there. We're going to start filling this loft up with birds. Should pick up our rings soon, and then obviously this one we may utilize that for breeding later on, but I've got to get in there and really tidy this one up a little bit. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. Stay tuned. I'm going to hang around, try and get that little hen in, and yeah, enjoy your week. It's I'm back to work, so yeah, see yous.